Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, it's time to show my team that I've decided to use for the Dark Fae 120 on hard. If you've seen my previous video of doing the team with Dark Elhain, which actually is the most reliable team I've seen out there in case of like consistency to 100% work and not fail, then you know that it was the one with Dark Elhain, Pounder, Deacon, Allure and Cold Heart. Unfortunately, that one was not as consistent. I couldn't make it to be really reliable because of the fact that I don't have a second Allure. So because I do not have a second Allure like Ivy has, it's or like other people have, I couldn't keep the turn meter low enough for the Dark Fae. Maybe if I would have boosted everybody else's speed higher, but I feel like that was just too much for me to try and do. Like another option that I could have done is if I had a Lissandra, I could have added another Lissandra instead of the second Allure. So for that type of team, that's the way that it works. You need like two really strong turn meter control champions. But because that didn't work, I decided to, okay, let me go back to my basics, go back to my roots, and analyze my team. So that team would do it in like 3-4 minutes. I think mostly around 4 minutes, 100% consistently. But I couldn't make it to be consistent, so I was like, okay, if I'm not gonna have my team to be extremely consistent, let me try this one again. And basically, I'm back to using Deacon, Allure, Herndig, Cold Heart, and Royal Guard. So basically this team, as I'm gonna show you the run that I've done yesterday, I put it on full auto, I recorded it, and this is what it came up with. So if I look through it, the whole thing is like 12 minutes. Obviously it's just 7 battles because it's using super raids. I think this one only failed, if I remember correctly, it only failed once. To be fair, I would even say that this one has maybe like a 50-50 success rate. The problem with this one is, obviously on the first wave we're fine, we kill it, we're okay. The problem is on the second wave, it's the affinity of the second wave. They're all force. So if we try to bring somebody like a Herndig or like any magic nuker to like try and speed tune it so we have the right skills ready for the boss part, we cannot do it unless we bring somebody like, I don't know, an ethos or like a different affinity nuker that makes it easy for us to try and speed tune and get the skills in the right order. I don't have that many options of like void nukers or magic spirit nukers that could work in here, so I just tried and did this one. And basically what I did is I made sure that my Herndig was the fastest. It was a bit tricky, it was a bit hard, as you saw earlier. He didn't one-shot the whole team because I needed his speed to be extremely high, but it still worked because I had Allure to come for the cleanup or Deacon, depending on their speeds or how it goes. But apart from that, everything else works pretty decent. The whole reason why it's pretty okay, if you pass the first 40-50 seconds, which is the only time that this one can fail. So if this one doesn't fail in the 40-50 seconds, you go back again, which from my point of view is pretty good, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get those speed runs in. So if this run would fail like after, I don't know, a minute and a half or like more than a minute, it's like, okay, it's wasted time. But because it fails early, it's good because it comes back to go and do it again in case it fails, and it fails pretty fast. So basically you're saving more time. As you've seen, my best time was 1:37, this one was 1:48. Everything goes the same way. See, we get to this wave, then boom, we come back here again. This time it worked. The reason why my Herndig doesn't, I think I do not one-shot myself, is because I changed his masteries. He has the what's it called? The Helm Smasher mastery. I use him in my arena team as well. In my 3v3 teams, he can be extremely good as a nuker. So I didn't want to reset again just for this month, and then I don't use him for Dark Fae for another 2 months. I prefer to have him kept in the build for arena, because in arena I can use him consistently. He's pretty good, especially like if you give him enough damage against warlords, because his A1 resets himself. That's what makes him extremely good. That is also the reason why he's so good on the Dark Fae. If he's the one that goes first If he has his A3, which is like if he crits, it becomes an AoE. If he has his A2, which is an AoE, he can one-shot the whole team. At the same time, his A1 has such good multipliers, and if he kills somebody, he gains an extra turn that, again, he can just one-shot somebody and come back again to his AoEs. That's why Hernig is one of the best, if not the best champion to bring in here as the fastest to one-shot your own team, to make it as reliable as possible. Everybody else is, like I said, is here just for the turn meter control and some damage. Royal Guard is extremely good because of the decreased speed that he can bring on his A3. He brings lots of damage on his A2 with a takedown. Cold Heart again. Cold Heart, for example, mine has a Giant Slayer, and obviously the Heartseeker, which depletes the turn meter, does damage. And then Allure, just doing her what she usually does, is A1 for days to control the turn meter of the boss. The way that I've worked with my Allure, because I need Hernig to be the fastest, I just swapped a pair of boots on her so she doesn't have speed boots. Because my Allure is around 295 or 298 for my Fire Knight team. So I just swapped her speed boots and just put her in a pair of, I think it's defense percent boots, like random boots, just to make sure she's slower than my Hernig, and all's good. From there everything works. So this one works, as you can see, it still works pretty well, all fine. Roughly, like, the time is still under 2 minutes, it never goes over 2 minutes. Then I think this is the one that fails, and let me show you how the fail actually looks. So the fail looks like this: either he doesn't one-shot the Deacon, I might need to make my Deacon like a little bit squishier, or if we one-shot ourselves and then the Dark Fate takes one of our champions that True Fears everybody. If every single champion in our team gets the True Fear, then yeah, it's gonna fail again, because she does the AoE, the champion that she took will attack as well, and it can fail. We can still come back depending on who she takes. Like for me, it took the Allure. The Allure is gonna do A1 with that attack. Maybe it doesn't come to the A2 because she's not the fastest, but you know, it has a big chance to fail if you get that one, because it's 50-50. But like I said, at the same time, you see it's 30 seconds. So if we fail this part, it's 30-40 seconds that it fails and comes back to it. So after I've done all of my runs, at the end I got to, let me see, yeah, it shows here. So basically from 7 runs, only 1 failed. I'm happy with that. This one could have been like 2 or 3 failed, you know? It's gonna be like 50-50. I'm still happy with the time that it does. It's pretty fast. It's not as it doesn't take too long to finish. So even, like I said, even though if this one fails, it takes me 2 minutes. So for example, the team that I showed on 80, on 120 it might take maybe like 3 to 4 minutes. And it's, let's say, it's not 100% consistent, but it's closest. So basically, if this team that I'm using now, it wins one and fails one, it's gonna be the same as the other one, because the other one would take around 4 minutes. Or at least that's the way that I see it. And calculated it, and again, because that one doesn't work for me, I decided to use this one. So let me show you the builds that I have on my champions. As we see, okay, I used some in the background. I did 4 out of 4, 8 keys. See, it was 50-50. I won 2, I lost 2. That's just the way it goes. So let me show you the builds on the champions that I actually have. We're gonna start with Hernig, the one that obviously I'm using to nuke myself. These are the Masteries, like I mentioned. I'm not changing him from the Arena Masteries. I could have done him like this way and this way, just I wanted the Whirlwind of Death for some PvE content that I use him in. And I went a little bit of support for the debuffs he puts. Like it's a combination of Arena with support, I guess, that I use for him. He's fully booked for me. I think he would work not fully booked as well, but I prefer to have this fully booked, so it's on a lower cooldown to bring back, because this one's good for turn meter control on the boss as well. The total stats I have on him is 4.6k attack, 240 speed, which is pretty fast, 100% crit rate, 228 crit damage, 350 accuracy. You need 350 accuracy for stage 120, because that's otherwise you're not gonna land your debuffs. And I really want him to land the debuffs, especially this one. I want him to deplete the turn meter, honestly. So that's why I got him debuffs. I could try and build him even without accuracy, and that way I'm 100% sure he would one-shot the waves. But having this reliability of his turn meter depletion just makes it easier for me. Or, you know, it's better. I might just need to improve my gear a little bit or change the masteries. or just lower the HPs or stuff for the other one so he can consistently one-shot them. Allure, like I said, she's in my Fire Knight build. With the speed boost, she would be 295, 100% crit rate, decent attack, decent crit damage, and 332 accuracy. This one I should try and push to 350 to have the A1 be more consistent and, you know, not be resisted. 333 is still decent, but still it's a higher chance to be resisted than being at 350. Royal Guard, oh yeah, let me show you her masteries. Her masteries, like I said, same as for Fire Knight, damage masteries and a little bit of the support tree. Then Royal Guard, again, Royal Guard, it's not in a specific set. I just want him again to have high accuracy, decent speed, 100% crit rate, and lots of crit damage because I want him to do as much damage from the takedown as possible. He's not currently, this one's not currently in the build for Hydra. I use my second one in the build for Hydra, that one doesn't have masteries. I want this one specifically for the Dark Fae because he helps a lot with his takedown, and with the 4-hitter that can place decreased speed and can deplete turn meter, which can be extremely good. These are his masteries that I used. Again, damage masteries, like standard, I guess, damage masteries. The office tree and support tree. Support tree I went with Cycle of Magic and all of these other things because, like I mentioned, since he's mostly used in PV and like Hydra, I want Cycle of Magic for when I use him with Reflex. I want him to keep rocking that to refresh and trying to get as many takedowns in there as possible. Deacon I have him like mostly with high accuracy because I use him in my 3v3, so I usually just have him speed tuned in one of my speed teams as like a third speed booster and for a chance to drop the defense. So this is his speed, high accuracy. Like, you don't need this high accuracy, you need 350 for Dark Fae specifically. These are his masteries because I use him in PV more than I use him, I guess, in Arena. I went down the War Master tree then instead of the Eagle Eye. But it could work with Eagle Eye as well. It's just you would have a little bit less damage on the boss part because you would lose the War Master. Have Lord of Steel, have Evil Eye. I will need to finish his master to get Sniper and Master Hexer as well for, you know, chance to extend the stun, the leech, and for a better chance to place that leech, basically. Then the last one, Cold Heart. Cold Heart is roughly the same as I've shown in the previous one. Triple refresh. I know this is a bit overkill, but it's like, you know, let me put the best if I have it. So it's triple refresh. They're not the best. They're like 5-star. They don't have like speed. Like, I only have 1 speed roll on this one. This one's crit damage, I have 1 accuracy, and then this one's like an HP one, like a random. I just wanted to have the triple refresh for a chance to refresh the Heartseeker because I have that one locked. So on the boss part I have the A2 locked, and obviously it's a reflex again for more Heartseekers with Cruel. I haven't shown you the preset. Let me just quickly go and show you the preset before the end. We end this and show you how I specifically preset my team to what to use and what not to use. So for Deacon, no changes. Allure, I made the rope with the A2, then locked the A2 and A3. You want A1 for days because you want to keep that boss controlled. Hundig, I just made him to prioritize his A3. His AI can be wonky and pretty funky. He doesn't like to use his A3 too much. He likes to prioritize his A2 a lot. And I always want him to use the turn meter control skill as soon as he has it. That's the reason why I gave him lots of accuracy, because for decreased defense, decreased accuracy, don't really care. This is the reason why we gave him the accuracy for fully depleting the turn meter. It's half only because it's a boss in Doom Tower, but it still works. It helps a lot. Cold Heart, I locked her A2. I don't want her to use the A2 at all. I only care about her using the Heartseeker. Even on the waves, we have enough damage from everybody else. We don't need to rely on her A2. So just have her with the Heartseeker. This one's closed, and hoping to proc it as many times as possible to do lots of damage and to control the turn meter. Royal Guard, I made him open with the A1. I think I did it this way, so we have so basically I was trying to have the A3 ready when we get to the boss, but like I mentioned, because it's force on the second wave, it's really hard for us to like one-shot it or clean it up pretty fast, so we have the we have the A3 when we get at the end. But the priority is for him to have A2 as priority and A3 as well. Sometimes he doesn't like to use them and goes for the A1. I think it's when he doesn't have the decreased defense, but I wanted to make sure that he uses the takedown for more damage, and then again uses this one to turn meter control and place the decreased speed. But yeah, guys, this is gonna be the video for today. I hope this video helps you out to be able to farm, or not even to beat the Dark Fae on 120. Or if you want to farm it and you cannot do it on 120 but do it on 80, use the same principle, just lower it down, you know, take it down a notch with the speeds and everything else. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to show, you know, I'm trying to show as many ideas, or I'm trying to showcase the way that I'm doing it on my account with the champions that I have. From here, things can be changed. Like, instead of Deacon, you could have a Lysandra. Instead of, I don't know, a Coldheart, you can have a second Allure. You could try and bring a V6 with other champions. There's different ways that you can tackle this one. It's just the core idea of this team is basically having somebody that can one-shot your own team, which is Hundeg. Go first at the boss part. You one-shot yourself, and then it's all about turn meter control and damage out there. But yeah, I will leave it at this, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace, love you all, take care, guys, bye.